What is up and what's happening, Auburn fans? Welcome in to the Tuesday Night Live. Auburn Primetime Live coming back at you once again. Glad we're in here. Glad to have you. War, damn, Eagle. It's game week. I know we struggled through the bye week, man. That was tough. That was tough not watching Auburn play. That was really, really difficult, even though it hasn't been the year that we've all wanted, right? It's still tough to make it through a Saturday and knowing that your team's off and you just got to sit through and watch ball and you don't get that feeling in your gut, right? You don't get them butterflies right before kickoff and even though like I said, it hasn't been the season that we wanted or what we expected. I still like to get fired up before kickoff and get excited. So uh, we're through the bye week. We're through the bye week, and we're on to Mercer and DJ Durkin. He stepped up to the podium, and I thought he kept it short and sweet. I didn't think it was a whole lot there to really unplug and kind of dig down into. But one thing that we did find out is they were, having to make a decision about Ashton Daniels. Would Ashton Daniels sit to save his red shirt and come back for the 2026 Auburn Tigers? Or potentially he could go into the transfer portal, I guess. Or anyway, they DJ comes out and says they have decided that he will sit against Mercer. He will not play regardless of what happens. So going into the second half, if Auburn's down, he's not playing. And I think DJ highlighted that sometimes you have to look out for the player, and they think it's in Ashton's best interest to save that year of eligibility. And I've seen some Auburn fans say, well, you should try to make a bowl game, and I don't think if you can't beat Mercer, then yeah, I don't think you deserve to go to a bowl game anyway. I mean, honestly, we lost to Kentucky 10-3 in Jordan-Hare Stadium, so we blew the Missouri game, and I just if you can't get past FCS Mercer, I don't think you're deserving of a bowl game anyway. And then you would still have to beat Alabama, but I think the last thing right now, what Auburn's worried about, is a trip to the Birmingham Bowl. I think they're already kind of starting to look towards next year, and kind of like what I talked about last Tuesday night was if you play Ashton to get to the bowl game, then you're running the risk of having zero quarterbacks come back next year, and you're going to have to end up going to the portal and things like that, and you got the kid from Pennsylvania coming in through the high school ranks. And so it would just be, and I'm saying that in that scenario, I think if you played Ashton and Deuce didn't play, maybe Deuce leaves or something like that, it would get interesting, right? It would get interesting. Maybe Deuce would come back and be the starter. I don't know. Who knows? But I think DJ and the staff said, hey, look, Ashton showed us a lot. He played pretty decent in the Arkansas game. Wasn't so great in the Kentucky game, but I don't think that had to do with Ashton himself. I think that had to do with your head coach. I think he simply gave up. And then you saw the performance against Vanderbilt in Nashville. And so I think that led them to make the easy decision for Ashton to sit. And I think it's the best decision for the program moving forward, not just Ashton. I think getting Deuce Knight on the football field is the best thing for Auburn right now in this point of the season. Probably maybe could have got him on there a little bit earlier. Maybe. You go back and look at some of the you go back and uh, look at the way the season played out. Maybe Deuce should have got a shot earlier in the year. I don't know. Some people argue it. Some people discuss it. They go back and forth on X and Twitter or whatever you want to call it. But he's getting his shot Saturday, and I'm really excited to see how well he plays. I'm really wondering if Auburn is going to lean on Jeremiah Cobb and Mabson early and run the football and kind of make it easy on Deuce, put him in some comfortable situations. And then once you get up a little bit, I think they're going to let Deuce rip it. I think they're going to let Deuce rip it. I think they're going to let him drop back, and I think they're going to tell him, hey, man, go out there and have fun. Let it rip. Go play. Go play. And I just think, I hear other people saying that, well, he could put film, he could put film out there to transfer and all that. I don't know how much you're going to put out there against Mercer. And that's not me downing Mercer's program. It's an FCS school. I'm not sure how much they would take on Deuce Knight with that film and things like that. And I'm not sure where he would transfer to unless he went to the Big 12 or, something along those lines, or maybe took a step down and went to, the Sun Belt or something. I don't think Deuce, I've never really been on the train of Deuce leaving Auburn after 1 year. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for Deuce to leave, in my opinion, when this program has highlighted that you are the future of the program. And I think this is a decision that says, hey, look, we're going to give you an opportunity. We're gonna put you out there. We're going to see what you got. Now, with that being said, I know everybody's, you're probably like, oh, well, you're talking like Deuce is the starter. DJ did not name a starting quarterback, but I think Deuce Knight is starting. And I think Auburn is crazy if they start Jackson Arnold. Okay? I think it's a terrible idea to start Jackson Arnold. And people will say, well, you can start Jackson Arnold and you can get up by 3 or 4 scores and then you can pull him and put Deuce in. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not showing me anything because we're not going anywhere with Jackson Arnold. Okay? Catch my drift here. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. Auburn football is no longer going anywhere with Jackson Arnold. That experiment is done. So, in my opinion, and what I try to vision for Saturday, is the only way Jackson Arnold plays in this game is if Deuce Knight goes in, they get up big, they're comfortable, Deuce Knight's had a day, and it's, hey, Jackson, go in there and finish it out. That's how I feel like it's going to be, because you going back to Jackson over Deuce doesn't make a lick of sense moving forward for this football program. What sense would that make? I wouldn't understand throwing Jackson Arnold back out there. It's like you would be playing the musical chairs. And then you would, some people don't, they say, well, I don't think it would really be a slap in the face to Deuce. I'm like, well, I do. I think it would be a slap in the face because you've seen 7.5 games of him and you pulled him and you put Ashton in. Ashton took his job. Even after your coach, who you fired, tried desperately to give him his job back, and it still didn't work. You can't go back to Jackson Arnold. So DJ Durkin didn't name a starting quarterback, but my goodness, if Jackson Arnold trots out there as the starter, I don't know how Auburn fans are going to take it. I really don't. And I wouldn't blame them if they got a little rowdy. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't blame them. Everybody's like, well, be nice to the players. I'm like, well, we've seen the experiment. It's not going anywhere. He's not going to play football at Auburn next year. That ship sailed. But you know who can play football at Auburn next year? Deuce Knight. Deuce Knight can play football at Auburn next year. So starting, and guess what? Guess what? If the worst thing happens, all right, and you're in a tight game with Mercer, which they are a good football team. I think they've only got one loss on the year, and they're putting up tutters week in and week out. They're putting points on the scoreboard. But if you're in a tight game in the fourth quarter, oh well. Well, you're 4-6. Excuse me. You're 4-6. You couldn't beat Kentucky at home. So what do you got to lose? You ain't got nothing to lose. Hell, you lost to New Mexico State 2 years ago. Program ain't got nothing to lose. Throw Deuce in there. Let him play. Let him spin it. Let him go have fun. Let him throw it to Cam Coleman. See if you can retain Cam Coleman and not let him get into the portal. Because once again, we always say, why did these receivers really want to come to Auburn? Because they really saw a vision with Deuce Knight. So let him go out there and rip the damn thing. Why not? I don't see anything against it. Let's get over here in these comments. Let me see here. Let me get over here in these comments. Auburn Express says, War Eagle, y'all. War Damn, how you doing tonight? Miss Karen says, War Damn, fam. Hey, love to see it. Always War Damn. Over or under 200 passing for Deuce if he starts? Man, I would love to say over. Like I said, I think the talent will definitely take over, okay, against Mercer. Especially in the trenches. I think Deuce could have time to throw, but the only reason I'm a little hesitant on that is because I don't know if they're going to rely a lot on like Jeremiah Cobb and Omar Mapson. How much are they going to run the ball? But if it was me, I'm saying over, baby. Let Deuce go out there and rip it. All right. I want to see him go out there and let loose. And guess what? If he throws 2 picks, he throws 2 picks. Oh, well. Let him grow, man. That's the only way he's going to get better is letting him go out there and play. What's up, Auburn Dad? How we doing tonight, man? I am battling this cold. I'm still sick, but I wasn't going to leave y'all hanging tonight. Glad they're doing the right thing by Ashton, Miss Karen says. Yeah, you know, I think that says a lot about DJ Durkin, too, is a lot of the players respect him because he's a player's coach. He's also hard-nosed. He's a physical guy, gets after them on the football field, but he's also that guy who's in their corner. And when they have success or when they need a tail chewing, he's there. You know, he knows how to show the tough love, but he also knows how to love and be gentle and soft with these kids, right? You know, because look, I don't care what anybody says. These kids nowadays, it's different than the way my dad raised me and some of you were brought up, right? It's a little bit different. Today, these kids, you got to show that tough love. But then on the other end, you got to be a little gentle and you got to, And DJ's really, really good at that. That's why I think you see a lot of the older coaches in the game. They're stepping away because they're like, man, I don't get this new age. I don't get the new age. I'm not good with them. And you're seeing these young cats, they're starting to step in and they're saying, hey, look, we got it from here, young buck. All right. We're good. We're good over here, old timer. These young bucks got it. And you know, I know his name has been popped up in the Auburn coaching search, and a lot of people are, you know, not fond of it. But Eli Drinkwitz, I think he is a young guy who's extremely corny, but he gets these talented kids, and he knows how to be a player's coach, and he also knows how to be a hard ass, and that's what you got to have nowadays. And I think he does a really good job at it. And I think John Summerall is another guy like that who he knows how to get it done. Get it done. Excuse me. He knows how to get it done with these young guys. And you see some of his press conferences and post-game pressers, and like the one that was posted today where he was like, look, we're not a good football team. He was like, we're average. He's like, sometimes I watch us play and I'm just like, man, if we're in the top 25, that means everybody else in college football is really, really bad. And so I think he shows that tough love, but then also you see him on the sideline and he's that player's guy too. So you got to have that in today's college football. And I think that is why these players, man, you see them very active on social media because they love Dirk and the energy that he brings. What's up, Thomas? How we doing tonight? War Eagle, brother. Miss Devin checking in. War Eagle, how are we doing? Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm trying to beat this cold. That trip to Tennessee got me. Leaving here and it being like 75 degrees and getting up there and it being like 20 degrees. And then the next day you wake up and it's like 80 degrees up there. And the next day you wake up, it's like 50 degrees. And it ruined me. I think it's better for Deuce to be starting under these coaches instead of Hugh. Great point, Karen. Great point. I encourage everybody to go listen to the C5 and Bo Wallace interview, that episode over on the Barn. And Bo Wallace just basically said that Hugh Freeze didn't have a plan. He said that he watched the first half of the Kentucky game. And like I said, I felt like Hugh Freeze gave up in that game. I feel like he gave up. He checked out. He said, look, it's over with. It's done. We're not moving forward in here. And I just think he put Ashton and these quarterbacks in this excuse me, this offense in a terrible situation. I really think that. I just think he stopped doing his job and he stopped caring about the task at hand. And some people might disagree with me on that, that love Auburn football. And I'm sorry, but Hugh just didn't put these kids in winning situations this year. And that's it. The way he was jumping around at practice today, I'm excited to see him play with the starters. Yeah, and he did get a bad rap against, Ball State. People were like, "Oh, well, he looked terrible against Ball State." And it was also with him against a bunch of backups, and he was out there with second and third teamers. And I want to see him with Cam Coleman, man. I want to see him with Eric Singleton. I want to see him get in there with these cats and let it rip, man. Let it rip. And I think you could see him use his legs, him feel confident to step up in the pocket and excuse me, possibly take off. I'm excited to see the athleticism. I really am. I really, really am. This might be Deuce's go be great moment. Yeah, and here's the thing, too, is last Tuesday night I said I made the point of bringing Ashton back, all right? Just because you're bringing Ashton back doesn't mean he's going to be the starter next year. This could be Deuce's moment to be like, hey, man, go play great against Mercer. We'll let Ashton have the Bama game. And then we'll go into the offseason. If we don't make a bowl game, we'll go into the offseason and we'll have a legitimate quarterback competition. And we'll see how the cookie crumbles. We'll see how the cards fall. And I think that would be a great momentum booster into 2026. I'm starting to want Blake as my coach, LOL. I did a little high school baseball coaching back in the day. And, I used to get fired up. A little too fired up. Let me coach the O-line. You know I would, brother. You know I would. Tight ends, hey, that's an area we gotta do something, man. Ooh, rough. That room is rough right now. What's up, brother? The coaching search is depressing. Nah, it's not depressing, J-Dog. We're gonna be all right, man. We're gonna be all right. You're not gonna really hear anything until after the Iron Bowl. So you're going to let these rumors fly. You're not going to really hear nothing set in stone until then. So it's just going to be a bunch of hearsay, a bunch of rumors, message board talk, and things like that. So stay positive, brother. Stay positive. Let Deuce cook. Let's see what he can do. I'm with you, the weakest link. I'm with you. I want to see Deuce get in there and spin it, man. I want to see him get in there. Blake, you need a sip of whiskey with that coffee. Yeah, with what is it? It's like whiskey with the honey and the peppermint. That's what my grandmother used to make us drink. And yeah, knock it right out. J Dog, who do you think we're hiring, brother? I just want to know who do you think, or who do you want? Deuce fumbled the snap twice against Ball State, but he also made a few nice plays as well. It wasn't all bad, and that was also the weakest link. Like, I can't knock him for that, because I know I would probably have butterflies going out in front of 88,000 people. First collegiate game, I'd be nervous, even though it was Ball State. I can't knock him for that. I think he'll be prepared this go around. I think he'll be ready. I think he'll be excited to get out there and let it rip. And just go make plays, man. Go have fun. Whiskey and lemon. That's it. Not honey. Lemon. Lemon. That's it. That's it. That's it. Lemon. Ooh. Ooh. I want Kiffin. I have a feeling like it's going to be someone like Drink or Clark Lee. Yeah, I would love to have Kiffin. The only thing that rubs me the wrong way, y'all, is the trolling stuff. I think it's funny for fans to troll and things like that, but when your head coach is a constant troll and he acts like he's 17 years old on Twitter, kind of annoying. I saw a TikTok today. And this Ole Miss woman, she said, "Can you stop bashing Lane? He's still our coach, and we're having the best season ever, and we're getting ready for a playoff run and a chance to win a national championship." And I just commented on it. And I was like, "Well, the thing is the guy you're dating is talking to other women behind your back." Well, now it's right in front of your face. It started behind your back, but now he's just actively doing it in front of your face. And he's even taken flights to him. So he's not going to the local Motel 6 where they leave the light on for you to meet up. He's actively catching flights to go look at real estate, to go look at facilities. And if I was an Ole Miss fan, I'd be pretty ticked off. And so the constant trolling and getting on Twitter and saying, "Oh, everything's going to be all right," that's not for me. If you want to leave, be open about it. Be honest, because this is the second time you've done this. You've taken Ole Miss through the roundabout twice. And usually when I go through the roundabout, I only go through it once, and so I get out of there pretty quick. So he's actively cheating on you right now, and that's what I put in our comment section. I said he is cheating on you, and you're allowing it to happen. So that's the only thing I don't like about him. But as far as football, he's a winner. They score points. That's what Auburn hasn't done lately. So I would love him if he would stop the crap. I would love Dilly. I would. I think you would get great QB play. You saw what he did with Bo Nix, not only at Auburn, but then he got Bo to go to Oregon, and then Levitt at Arizona State. And I was listening to a college football show, and they were talking about him possibly going to LSU, and they were saying, well, he went 3-9 in his first year at Arizona State, and I'm like, yeah, but look what he inherited, man. Like that place was a dumpster fire, right? And he turned them around like that. Bang, offense. Got a decent little defense out there in the Big 12, playing for conference championships, going to putting Texas on the line in the college football playoff. Um, that's a guy I can ride with. He's familiar with the state, familiar with Auburn. Uh, I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at it. I think DJ's got to stay. And I know some people are like, man, you're just so infatuated with DJ Durkin staying on staff, and I'm like, well, I got to tell you the story about how all the players love him, man. I don't want to totally blow this up. I think you just had to cut the head off the snake and get the loser out the room, and I think you did that. I think you did that. So I don't want to totally blow everything up and lose this talent. Yes, I think some of it can be replaced, but some of it's really, really difficult to replace because not everybody's a hit out of that transfer portal. They don't trust Deuce to get a dub over Mercer. Y'all are super slow. It ain't about Deuce. It's about us not losing to GD Mercer. Brother, if they can't beat Mercer with Deuce, um, like I said earlier, you if you can't beat Mercer, um, I hate it for you. I don't know what to tell you if you can't beat Mercer with Deuce, because at the end of the day, even if you do play Deuce and things are kind of going south, you can lean on Jeremiah Cobb to absolutely run all over Mercer. Let's just be honest. You can give the ball to Mavson and Cobb, and you can get the little screen game going. You can throw it out quick to Eric Singleton Jr., and they'll make enough plays to beat Mercer. And guess what? If you do lose to Mercer, you're 4-6. You lost to Kentucky at home in the most embarrassing thing I've seen in quite some time. Yeah, it's that's where Auburn's at right now. That's where Auburn's at right now. Trolling your own team is crazy. LOL. Yeah, that's wow. Y'all are losers. If you boo another man on a football field, what are you talking about, bro? Bad take. What are you talking about? Booing another man on a football field. What are you talking about? Please let me hear it. Um I never said I wanted them to boo. I said I would understand if they did. I would get it. And it's not because of Jackson. It's because of Auburn fans wanting to see Deuce. So I think you took that one the wrong way. But I don't know. I would understand. They don't want to see Jackson anymore. They're tired of it. And guess what? You know who got booed? You know who got booed? Bo Nix got booed. You know who booed him a week ago? The Broncos. They booed him. He sat up there and he said, yeah, this ain't the first time I've been booed, and it won't be the last time. I mean, It happens. I've been in and out of the conversation, so I didn't hear anything. I was just responding to the comment. Oh yeah. No. I wasn't talking to you, Devin. I was talking to Tubbs. I was just saying that I would understand if they did boo if Jackson was announced as a starter, because these Auburn fans would be pissed. They would be pissed because they want to see the future of the program, not a guy that's not going to be here next year. That was the point I was trying to push across. I thought he was talking to Daniel. I've got him blocked. We beat Bama. Whoa, Daniel. Oh, Daniel said something positive? Daniel Denny said something positive? Brother, where you been at all year? Love to see it. I'll be honest with you. I think we got a chance. I do. I think Auburn has a chance to beat Alabama. Alabama has a problem with running the football. Auburn does really well at stopping the run. I think Auburn's defensive backs can stay with those receivers. Alabama's been turning it over a little bit lately, and I think if Auburn can get this crowd into a really hostile environment, keep them up in the first half, and keep it close, and get it into the second half, get a turnover, maybe a big sack on Ty Simpson, and produce enough offense. I think it could be a close game. I think it's when you really look at it, if you get the Auburn offense, in Nashville, that would be really, really fun. You just need this defense to clock in and not bring that defense back from Nashville. So I do think it's a favorable matchup for Auburn. And I'm not saying Auburn's going to win. I think Auburn can keep this game close. And I think they could have some success against that Alabama offensive line, and they could put some pressure on Ty. And what would I do if we beat Bama? Probably make a TikTok and probably just chill, brother. Go get me a Black and Mild and light that baby up and chill. And probably drink me a little cold snack and relax. Have a good night. I will get on them Black and Milds now. If it's for celebratory celebrating purposes. I would love to roll tumors for my son's first trip to Jordan Hare. Oh, you're going to the game, Devin? You're going to the Iron Bowl? That would we rolling the entire state. I will roll my tree out in the front yard. If we pressure Simpson enough, contain the run the ball, pass for 275, run for 225, we win. I think we can run the ball on Alabama too. I do. I think we can run. I think Cobb could have a decent day. But that's for next week, man. We got to beat Mercer first. But I'm going to hop off here. We'll preview Mercer later in the week. And hopefully they name a starting quarterback. It's been fun. Love y'all. War Damn Eagle. Hopefully I can get this sickness out of here. So love y'all. Appreciate y'all. War Damn. See y'all Thursday. I'm out.